To make the program more interesting, I've searched text-to-speech with .NET using C#. And the search result, as you can see from the Google, I'm using IE Edge, I get speech synthesizer class from system.speech synthesis. And by clicking this link, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I fixed the internet and now it shows. It says speech synthesizer class is available in system speech. And this is in assembly system speech.dll. Wouldn't it really be nice to say the name when you, instead of just read the name, so they have to read. I haven't used this class, so this was my first time using it. And by looking at this, it's in different assembly. So first, let's talk about the libraries. This system namespace is available in the .NET Framework. And also this class, speech synthesizer, is available in .NET Framework 4 and 3 and 3.5. And there's a reference to the other versions as Visual Studio 10 and 8, but I think they're just referencing the other versions. .NET Framework, then what is the current version? This is the latest version. How do we know what latest version that we are using? Let's take a bit of detour finding out the Solution Explorer. The project, when you right click on the project, not the solution, looking at the properties, it does give you the information about what target framework it's targeting and what kind of type of the application this is. Target framework is .NET 4.5, and there is other framework higher than this. The project, when I created with Visual Studio, it created and targeted for 4.5.2. You can change it. To use this class, however, I need to ensure that this is set to at least .NET 3.0. And we'll go more about these settings later on, but for now, let's reference the library. Libraries are in programming, the libraries are the code that's written by others that you're using in your program. You could write a code to do the synthesizing or the voice synthesizer, but rather you'd use a library that's already done for you. And this becomes more popular with the Node.js, with other like .NET Core library, where it starts that you write a program and you depend on the library to surface your application in different platforms such as web or mobile devices. For example, when you're writing Windows applications or web applications, you use different libraries. For .NET Framework, other than .NET Core, the .NET Framework has a vast library that we can use, including an interesting one that we are looking at right now. So using the speech synthesizer class, I'd first, looking at the assembly, system speech.dll, I will check to ensure that this is being referenced. Referencing a DLL is more of, I want to use that library, that DLL that contains the code. So I'd add a reference, and it's the framework. I will use system.speech. And this is .NET 4.0. Although that we are using 4.5, .NET assembly versions are splitting at version 2 and version 4. Let's just go with version 4 and you can worry about this less. On the other hand, talking about the libraries, there's a NuGet package that other developers like you and I have built the applications to make this writing applications easier. And there is a managed NuGet packages, and we can, for example, search for, I want to write a program that wants to get some information using Google services, get the users that are logged on to Google. We could use this to search for Google libraries, Google APIs by the Google, and use it to interface between your application and then Google services. It does give you more information on the right side using descriptions. For now, let's just use the .NET Framework library, an interesting library that I found. And knowing how to use this on the investment that you will have to make. For example, I wouldn't know how to start with this. So first, I'd look at the class and look at the example of how this is used. So I see the synthesizer instantiating, and then this is set up the default audio device, and then there is a speak. Seems to be simple to copy and paste. So let's try copying the line, instantiate here, and this will give me the error. Do you want to import this system speech synthesizer? So I click this. This is a ReSharper feature, but if you don't have the ReSharper, then just type using system speech synthesis, or other Visual Studio will warn you about this. And I'll change this to var. Type is synth, and the code that to do is synth speak, but before that we'll call set output to default device. And from here, instead of console write line, we will also do speak, and we'll copy and paste. In programming, there is don't repeat yourself, don't do the same thing again, such as I copy and pasted, such as the line that above here. And one way to do this as a single line, mostly for the maintenance and for the logic of your application. So we will call this is when the greeter uses this will be the greeting that greeter will use. And this greeting on the console write line, we will just use the same variable name. Now this is a variable, so we just synth. This variable would use the synth object, and then set output to default audio device and write line for 1. And I will use it. I will use to and I'll put a break to break the for loop. There's a reason for that, because I just want to make sure that it's working. It's also good practice just to go through one case to see if this will produce the result that you're looking at. And for again, the break is canceling the loop. So let's put a break is to break the loop or stop looping the function. Another option to break the loop is using return, and the last option that would be go to, but we wouldn't even use that for now. So to run, again, hit Control plus F5, and it said high key for me. And again, because we put the break in, we are only greeted with just one person. And now that this is working, that the next option is to make hello to everyone. So remove the break. The 2 forward slashes is don't run this code. This is for comment mostly, and for comments we'll come back and go over those. But to make this clear, we can just clear the lines and indicate that when the program runs, it will call person's name by hi, the name, and it did work for me. I'm not sure if this captured the system sound, but for this pick, this is gonna go through hi Key, hi Martin, Bruce, Clark, and all the way to Lisa. Now, is this the correct usage of this class? It appears that calling set output to default audio device doesn't need to be set multiple times. The loop is going through the block multiple times, and for multiple times that we are instantiating the synthesizer object and set to default audio device, and then using it to speak. So one option is to making this program. It does work. I haven't tried, but so let me try for now. So it is working. It is speaking, then moves on to the next line. Is this the right way to that it's done? To verify, it seems it's absurd to say, well, can we not reuse this instance? For example, an instance is an object that's created. Right now, we don't have any object created other than the synthesizer, because we have a class called program and then a function called main. So this is class and this is a function. And the reason that it's static is because it runs on the application. But for now, this is greeting. So you can change the names and try out, and we can go through more about this, the concept of instances in the next